welcome to the preview show, the Gallop TV preview show for the race meeting that's going to be taking place at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the turf, while the Polytrack gets a wonderful refurbishment. We're on the turf Friday night, Friday the 7th of March 2025, and there are 9 competitive races to look forward to. And I'll be doing this preview show today with Dees Dynant, my good friend and colleague, and him and I will be taking you through proceedings on Friday night live at the races too. Dees, how are you?
All okay, Warren. Looking forward to this Friday. I trust the valued racing fans are well. It's a double header, twilight meeting as we join racing from Gqeberha at Fairview at around 15:40. They will be still on the go with their race meeting, and as Warren mentioned, competitive racing throughout the day. As we bring up the field, Warren, let's have a look at race number 1, which doesn't kick off the exotics. Number 2, Serpentine Fire, is trading at 3-1. That did open up 7-2, early betting support into 3-1. Horse number 5, Long Street, at 28-10. Number 6, Ruby Rising, at 9-2. And then we got number 12, Katavar, at 6-1. Doesn't form part of the exotics, but I'm going to go number 2, Serpentine Fire, as the horse to beat, having watched him race last time out behind Real War. Third in that race was Good Living, coming out to win, nicely drawn as well. He's the horse with the most scope for improvement to come. I think he's the right horse in the race, Warren. To follow him home, 5, Long Street, horse number 12, Katavar, and I'll also be including number 6, Ruby Rising, in all bets. I think there's more to come from this filly, having watched the race at the last 2 starts. But the horse to beat, I think, is the right horse at around 3-1 in the betting, number 2, Serpentine Fire.
Dees, not much to argue about in the first race. Those numbers 2, 5, 12 and 6. I do like Serpentine Fire. Having a word with MJ Oordendal, he said that his stable, as we all know, went through a quiet patch. Every time I see him now, he said, watch out, the floodgates are going to be opening soon, and they've already started having a few winners coming off that virus. So Serpentine Fire, yes, huge improvement can be expected. Ruby Rising, she is returning from a rest. She's a filly taking on the boys, but she's got to have a big chance. You've mentioned Katavar, you've mentioned Long Street. Just one other that I'd like to suggest to the punters to include for the back end of quartets as we wrap up race 1 is horse number 8, Fire Tiger, from the Frank Robertson stable. Muzieni is going to ride. They do have a bit of an awkward draw, but there was some improvement from run 1 to run 2, and I'm sure that there can be some more improvement from run 2 to run 3 to be able to finish 4th, 5th, 3rd Fire Tiger into the back end of the quartets. But I think that's a wrap. We're both on 2, Serpentine Fire. In the first race, neatly drawn from a stable that's coming well. 2, Serpentine Fire, our first choice for race 1.
Race number 2 will start off the exotics. It will be leg 1 of the bar pot, and this is a progress plate over 1,200 meters, and it is a small field. You need to get on by 16:15 if you want to play the bar pot. And let's bring up the field. It's 10 runners at the time of recording the show, and the market has them like this. Number 2, Peregrine Falcon, debuting for Guard Puller at 7-2. 3, Isse Vivane at 7-2. Then we got horse number 4, Emma, at 6-1. And it is 8, Icy Blast, that's trading at 16-10. I think that is where we'll begin. Because Icy Blast does top the best weighted column in this progress place. And if you eliminate horse number 8, then it's tight between the balance of the field. But this individual has been a one-time winner for 755 days. So in the win department, he's definitely low on confidence. But he's achieved his highest merit rating of a 101. And looking at the way the stable of Matthew and Mike de Kock has raced him, they've raced him in highly competitive races where he hasn't been disgraced, but he's just behind those horses that are a bit superior when it comes to ability. The form lines of his races up, or should I say down in Cape Town, are fairly decent as well. So he'll be having his first run for Matthew and Mike de Kock, coming from the Western Cape. And they may have found the right race for him here, Warren. Number 8, Icy Blast. So I can see why the bookmakers has got this horse up as the top one at 16-10, with value to be had about the balance of the field. But can he make a winning debut for the stable? Is it the right race?
I think he can certainly make a winning debut for the stable. Dees, as you touched on, from as high as 101 at one stage to an 87. The form from the Cape is not bad at all, not too far off. And yes, to answer your question, I think he can make a winning debut for Matthew and Mike de Kock. So Icy Blast, definitely the first choice. Interesting horse is this horse Peregrine Falcon, who was just recently bought off the February online sale for a sum of 80,000 Rand. And he's very well related. He's out of that mare Lana Falcon, whom of course has produced Silver Hosts, at least Peregrine Falcon's Green Falcon, Silver Falcon, that whole Falcon family, Lana Falcon. So that's good breeding, Peregrine Falcon. I think you've got to respect him, but the breaks between runs is a small concern. And then my value D's is number 7, Top Gun. Gavin Larena riding a horse that's priced up currently at 20 to 1. That doesn't happen too often. But that last run wasn't the worst post-maiden, 5 lengths off Cotton Ron, but the penultimate start where he won his maiden over the course and distance was good. So I think back to Hollywoodbets Greyville, outside place chance value Top Gun, but yeah, all in number 8, Icy Blast for the win.
And there's an equipment change on Icy Blast. We'll race with the blinkers off. That's already been declared. Number 8, Icy Blast. So that could be the right horse in the race. I must agree with Warren about Peregrine Falcon. He's the unknown in the race. The lightly raced 4-year-old. He was a fluent winner over 1,000 meters at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. How ready he is for this race coming off this break back in September, the race will tell. And then Isivavane, the word from the Peter Muscat stable is that rested and gelded, and the rest was due to an injury which was way back on the 20th of March. So it's a long break that he's come back from. Number 3, Isivavane. So that's race number 2. It's a small field. It's an interesting race. Everything does point to Icy Blast coming down from the Western Cape and debuting for Matthew and Mike de Kock to possibly make a welcome winning return to the winner's enclosure. Post number 8 to beat numbers 2 and 3, and then Warren is giving you a nice roughie there in number 7, Top Gun.
The third race on the program is a open maiden over 1,600 meters. The race will run at 5 to 5, 16:55, and it's the first leg of the place accumulator. As the meeting progresses, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see that it gets a lot tougher. Not that any racing is easy, it's difficult. But these are in the camp of sort of the favourites in the first couple of races. But as the meeting progresses, it gets much, much harder. This race is not going to take much discussing. We both like Prince Florian, horse number 8. Dees, what impressed me last time, I know he's having his 8th bite at the Cherry. He's got consistent form, but I thought he would have won by now. But the way he finished his race last time, coming from last or near last to run second to get within a length of Deputy Chief, was quite impressive.
And we worked together that day, and I was absolutely gutted that we didn't play the exacta, Deputy Chief in Prince Florian. I think it paid over 120 Rand. When I saw that dividend come up, I felt sick throughout that day because we liked Deputy Chief and the source Prince Florian. The exacta was there for the taking. It wasn't to be, but his consistency, I agree with you, could be rewarded here. With all due respect to the field, there is sometimes no form to recommend with a few of these runners. I'll give you the betting quickly, Warren. Number 2, Forest Drum, from 25 to 1. There's some action around the horse into 16 to 1. 3, Lava Burst is around 10 to 1 in the betting. 7, The Green Gallant is at 8 to 1. This horse, number 8, Prince Florian, is at even money, and 11, Trend Maker, is at 3 to 1. So we're all in. Number 8, Prince Florian. I think it's overdue for him to win. He's bumping the right field. There'll be no excuses this time round, and Sean Veal has picked up the ride. The exacta horses for me are going to be 3 runners. Number 2, Forest Drum. I must say that 25 to 1 would have looked attractive, carrying 52.5 kgs. And considering that last start, Quacker Blitz and Master du Rouvre, they were 12 lengths clear of the balance of the field. Yes. In fact, this horse, you can say, was a close-up, a fought behind the 3rd place runner in that race, so which was Tickerlocks, I think. So this horse, number 3, Forest Drum, from a nice draw, stables coming along nicely. I think I'll include that in the exacta with number 7, The Green Gallant, and the obvious horse number 11, Trend Maker. So I'd like to play an exacta here, 8 a banker by 2, 7 and 11.
That's the suggested bet from Dees and I. We're all in Prince Florian. It's obviously the first leg of the PA, so we're bankering that. If it was the first leg of the Pick Six, we'd be bankering him too. But 8 a banker by 2, 7, 11, the suggested exacta, Prince Florian for the win.
Well, the Pick Six could be worth playing on this Friday, where we race at Hollywoodbets Greyville with that twilight meeting. The big one that begins at 17:30. It's over 1,800 meters, which is a maiden plate. So get on the tote by 17:30. We bring up the field, have a look at some betting. Horses that are in single figures. Number 3, Green Mile at 8 to 1. 4, Cherry O Baby is at 12 to 10. Then we move along to number 11, Harun Al Rashid at 2 to 1. And it is double figures, the balance. I just want to have a look at the betting for one runner here that obviously is in double figures and therefore hasn't been taken down by me, but I will look that up quickly before we go to warrant any selections here whilst it updates, which it hasn't done so yet. Oh, there it goes now. Race number 4, Fortune Hunter is the horse that I wanted to have a look at. That's trading at 14 to 1. The reason I mention that is because the horse raced against winners last time out, and although well beaten by a horse that was a runaway winner called Flying Cool, that was a short-haired third behind a horse called Captain Oliver, who's rated by Fricky Kalen, and Captain Oliver runs in the Hawam Stakes on Saturday at the Big T. So this horse back in maiden company, I just have to give a mention at those odds, Warren, at around 14 to 1, number 14, Fortune Hunter. But I think we both will agree that this filly, the beautifully bred daughter of the non-Platino, Cherry O Baby, is, beautifully placed to possibly win her maiden in the province for Matthew and Mike de Kock. They may have found the right race for her.
I don't normally go for horses that have run second, and I've fancied her in all 3 starts up on the Highveld.
Yes.
Change of environment, change of racetrack, etc. I'm going to certainly give her another chance. Gavin Lorena riding just brilliantly, around 12 to 10 at the time of recording. Yep. The first 4 races, as I said a moment ago, we're in with the favourites, we're in with the fancied runners, and we can look for more value and load up as the meeting progresses. But Cherry O Baby, yes, you've mentioned Fortune Hunter. That's, what it's all about, is to try and find a bit of value to go with it, and you could be spot on. Paul Lafferty's stable's really firing. There are many others, Promise of Fire can improve. Harun Al Rashid, you've spoken about. Deep draw, but gets Andrew Fortune short-head defeat last time. Saxon Dynasty showed huge improvement, and we can go on and on. Green Mile, strong place chance. You mentioned your value, Fortune Hunter. My value is number 5, Star Man from the Frank Robinson stable. Every time this horse is just getting a little bit closer, and I think he could certainly place. But to answer your question and to give the punters the confidence, first leg of the Pick Six, I certainly will be banking Cherry O Baby.
Cherry O Baby, a banker for Warren if you're looking for cover. Mr. Green, number 3, Green Mile, if he can produce his penultimate start, a form line that has held up superbly well behind World of Our Own. I think he'll be competitive. This horse, A Promise of Fire, the extra distance, if it suits her, well, she could certainly run a bowl race, and 11 Harun Al Rashid will be looking for a bit of luck in running. And in a Saxon Dynasty, well, if you like Harun Al Rashid, he wasn't too far behind that day. Saxon Dynasty, number 13, and number 14, Fortune Hunter. Against winners, now back in maiden company. So we've given you some runners to possibly play around, trifectas and quartets, but all eyes will be on number 4, Cherry O Baby, I think, for majority of the punters that will be playing the exotics on the day, because she brings the right profile into the race of possibly making a winning debut in the province for Matthew and Mike de Kock.
The next race on the program is the 5th race. It is a Class 5 where the benchmark is 66. It's going to be run over 1,800 meters just after 6 o'clock, 6:05. 13 runners at the time of recording. Please, as we say to you always, it is a pre-recorded show. Check your scratchings, jockey changes, betting moves, and all those things before taking your final bets. Just before our producer said 3, 2, 1 and Q, 2 horses were quickly discussed by Dees and I. He's spoken about number 1, Connoisseur, who's drawn the best. And I'm going to speak about a horse that's drawn right on the other side at gate 13. This horse, Animal Impact. And let's start the discussion with Animal Impact, because we could sit here for 2 hours going through this field. Animal Impact, I thought very good last run at this course, over this course and distance, behind Galaxy Explorer. Gavin Loreen is picking his rides and picking his plums. I know it's an awkward draw. Horses do win from awkward draws. Yesterday at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, Richard Ferry rode a horse called Strawberry Thief. Yes. That was drawn the worst, and patient, off the pace, came with a late rattle, got up on the line. It's not good for the heart and good for the nerves. But the point I'm making is that horses can certainly win from bad draws, but it's not easy.
Points about Animal Impact, and the glaring point is that Gavin Arena, who partnered Gallop Explorer that beat Animal Impact, has opted to go for the ride on the horse that ran second. And that is not a coincidence, or it's by design. He would have had a look at the race, and of course has decided to go to Wendy Whitehead's runner instead of a horse that he won on last time out. So that could be the deciding factor here, that he's opted for this horse ahead of 8 Galaxy Explorer. So I think you could be on the right horse there when it comes to that form line, but we'll need a lot of luck from that draw. Number 1, Connoisseur. Well, I'm hoping that Cabello Matsuniana can take full advantage of this barrier position. Beach Palace coming out to win. Long overdue now for that next win. One-time winner, but he's a significant drop in the ratings from a 79 to a 59. Gets my vote in all bets. This horse, Porfirio, for Com Naidu. The way he won last time out with Muzi Yeni, although it was on the poly track, he has won twice on the turf. I think there's more to come from him. McCarty has won. Numzan is a subsequent winner. He's a solid horse. He very seldom runs poorly, Warren. And then the horse number 10, King Bavarian. He's not one that you can be confident with, because he just can't put his head in front. But he's got a nice low weight of 53 kgs, number 10, King Bavarian. And I think he'll be in the shake-up, regardless of where he's positioned by Atandiwe Mkutla. I'm expecting a decent run from him. But in this race, in a field of 13 runners, I'll try to play with the minimum spend here. Number 1, Connoisseur, gets my vote. Horse number 7, Porfirio, 10, King Bavarian, and 13, Animal Impact, going to be my shortlist. But if you're looking for 2 more runners, 4, Elusive Bell, and 11, National Dream. So it looks a tough race.
Last question before we move on to race 6. I'm glad that you mentioned Alison Wright's runner, King Bavarian.
Yes.
Am I seeing spooks? Number 11, National Dream. I'm not suggesting that. Well, they all can win. They're in the race, and it's that kind of race, Class 5, that anything can pop up. But I've always been intrigued by National Dream. In a second run back, the first run back was way back at the end, back of the field. Second run back, 4 lengths off Wave Warrior, which was the stable companion. Awkward draw, 61. Could this be a quartet horse, or am I seeing spooks?
I think it could be a horse, and for any horse to win 3 on the bounce, regardless of the company that he's racing, and take some doing. And he did win 3 in a row, but he was racing off a low mark then, 50, 59, 67. His comeback run, he would have needed it. I think this is the right roughie. If you're looking for a result in the pick 6, I agree with you. That's why I mentioned him. I think he's the right horse that could possibly cause the upset here, and Tristan Godden is riding well.
Okay, those are the numbers. That's the discussion. We can't go on any longer because it's that kind of race, and we are going to look forward to moving on to the 6th race.
Race number 6, there's some quality here in the C Stakes over 2,000 meters, and this race has them like this. Number 1, Hodgepodge, is at 3-1. 2, Shassa's Dream, is at 4-1. Then we go on to number 5, Jaham. That's trading at 8 to 1. Moving along to number 8, French Trip at 7 to 1. 11, Queen Amina, that's done well out the maidens at 6 to 1. 13, Averni King at 8 to 1. And it is double figures, the balance. This is a race where if you get this quartet, Warren, if you get this quartet with a minimum spend, I think you are in a great position to have a wonderful weekend playing for free. This race, Hodgepodge and Shasha's Dream, I really don't think there'll be much to choose between these two runners. They're drawn alongside each other. They both have done superbly well post-maiden run. Hodgepodge, I think, is crying out for the extra distance, having watched her race over shorter. Shasha's Dream, we know, has no problem with this type of trip. Those are the 2 3-year-old fillies. Then we go on to number 5, Jaham. What's clear to me when it comes to Jaham is that the way he won last time out, that confident ride that he was given by Tristan Godden when they fitted him with cheek pieces was good. But this horse, Escapologist, who was 3 lengths behind Jaham, is now 7 kgs better off and trading at 12 to 1. So that is a massive weight swing around in favor of the 5-year-old mare, number 14, Escapologist. So if you like Jaham again, carrying 64 kgs, you'll love number 14, Escapologist, with the weight turnaround there. So that is the 2 horses. And then if I had to pick a horse that's got the strongest form line in the race, it's no doubt Duncan House's runner. When winning last time out behind Giver's Grace, your horse, I say your horse because yourself and Candice own a share in Flying Cool, has come out to win easily. Duke of Africa has won, Jaham has won. Captain Oliver, Lucretius have come out to run second. It is a form line to follow, so I can't discount the chances of Duncan House's runner, number 8, French Trip. Queen Amina you'll have to have a look at. And then Averni King, he's had 2 runs back from a seriously long layoff, but his last start, the signs were there. And I see they've gone with the blinkers as well. So I've given you my thoughts on a few runners. For the place accumulator, if I had to choose 3 runners, I'll be choosing numbers 1, 2, and 8.
1, 2, and 8, these as numbers. I'd like to add a few more. 3, Blackberry Breeze. I'm expecting improvement on his 2 local runs. Blackberry Breeze, I think he could get a little closer, but he's a long shot, and he certainly could get into the action. Queen Amina, this filly D's, I know you've mentioned her. I really am excited to see her run, because if you look at those 2 post-maiden runs, the first post-maiden run when running second, 2.80 to She's a Bomber. She's a Bomber seems a very nice horse in the making. Then, third, 4 lengths to Mocha Blend, which was also a good run. Mocha Blend, Frank's made no secrets that he thinks she's a type of horse that could strengthen and go through the divisions. So the fact that this filly, Queen Amina, has run 2 very good races out the maidens makes me really respect her. Can she win? Well, of course she can win, but it's such a tough race. I just want to see her run a good race, and I think that's what she'll give us. Averni King, you've touched on, 64, Gavin Larena, awkwardly drawn. Blinkers go on. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Your numbers are 1, 2, 8.
For the PA.
For the PA. You've gone 3 numbers. So 1, 2, 8. Let me go 11, 13, and we're the same with 8. So 11 and 13. 1, 2, 8, 11, 13 are PA numbers, but I'm still nervous. That's how difficult it is.
It's a tough race. Punters, racing fans, you'll do well to try and cut down your spend here in race number 6. It's a C stakes. There's lots of form to work around, weight turnarounds, horses that are in form, horses that are poorly drawn that need some luck, horses that are well drawn that will have the run of the race. It's going to be a good one to watch. Race number 6 takes place at 18:45. It's over 2,000 meters. Best of luck.
Welcome back to the studio, and it's time now to go through the 7th race, which is the Greyville Convention Centre B Stakes, over 1,400 metres. 7:20 will be the off time, and they're racing for a stake of 135,000 Rand. Before I hand to Dees, I'm going to give you the 4 numbers that I'm going to be including. It's all about structure, it's all about spend, it's all about affordability, and 4's my maximum. These, my numbers, I think Hollywood hold a very, very strong hand in the race. With This Is What It Means and Tyrconnell, two horses that are really in good form. Tyrconnell is really suited to the distance, Valtra consistent. This Is What It Means, having the second run back. That's a small concern, but solid form and certainly at a huge run can be expected. So 3-6. Over the page 9, Savantrix, his penultimate win when thrashing JP's Palace with Sean Veal in the saddle was impressive. The last run, he had to get steadied late and just was a bit cramped in the closing stages, but back over the course and distance with Sean Veal, I think he's a serious player. And then Nelson Bay, Shane Gavin Arena certainly pulled quite a few awkward draws, but this horse Nelson Bay, interesting jockey booking. Meets this horse Tyrconnell on exactly the same weight terms. I'm not going to leave out 10 Nelson Bay at around 7-1. So 3, 6, 9, 10. I wouldn't be shocked if your numbers are 1, 2, 5, 8. That's how difficult it is.
Well, we seem to be on the same page with our selections here, Warren, which is good for the show because we are trying to, not add on and increase the spend, but rather try and reduce it. So I'm on a similar path as Warren with his thought process here. I was really impressed with that great run back by This Is What It Means, MJ Woodendal's run-up off since August, coming back, running a decent second behind, the fitness of Mr. Master Starter. So that was a great run. There's more to come from him. Tyrconnell, Matthew and Mike de Kock, 1,400 meters with the cheek pieces, absolutely deadly. They found the right formula for this horse. He'll run another bold race. He'll be a popular choice in all bets. Savantric, I must agree with Warren, the way he wanted his penultimate start. I don't know if it was designed last time out that Craig Zaki wanted to race him forward, but he just seems to be a better horse when he's held up for a run coming from off the speed. And I think Sean Veal will have little or no choice but to drop him out from draw 9. So he'll be doing his best work at the finish. So place accumulator, I'll take a big chance here. 6 Tyrconnell and 9 Savantrix. For the pick 6, you mentioned number 3. This Is What It Means. I agree. So 3, 6, 9, and then between 10 and 7, unless you want to include both. Warren has given a mention to 10 Nelson Bay. And I like number 7 Winter Games because the rating drop certainly helped him winning last time out from a 103 to 87, and he won a really good race. This stable and combination, when they get together, regardless of where they're racing, whether it's the juvenile races, handicaps, or this C stakes or this is a B stakes, I think their horses are running well. So I'd respect number 7 Winter Waves. 3, 6, 7, 9, and then 10 for the pick 6. But for the place accumulator, Warren has given you his thoughts on Tyrconnell, Savantrix, and This Is What It Means. I'm going to take a chance here. 6 Tyrconnell and 9 Savantrix for the PA. Well, race number 8 is a class 5 over 1,200 meters. It will start off at 19:55 if everything goes to plan and to time. The field and the betting. Number 1, Purple Powerhouse. Yet to win on the turf, but very consistent on the surface. 12 runs for 9 places. That's trading at 5-1. Then we go on to horse number 6, which is Super Fast. That's trading at 7-2. Number 8, Now I Got You, is trading at 9-2, Warren, with Bevan Plikey's claiming 2.5 kgs, long overdue, way overdue, but the recent form suggests that the horse could be ready to win, and that is trading at 9-2. Number 9, Cotton Ron, is at 9-2, and we've got a 5-1 shot here in Gavin Arena's mount, number 11, Al Drac. Well, I was on this horse last time out, Warren, number 6, Super Fast, at a big price. And I must say that the young kid did very little wrong on the horse, and nice to see him get the chance again. He's got to know this horse now, and 58 kgs on the back, just failing last time out. His course and distance record is absolutely solid. Many punters and racegoers that look towards a horse like this as a PA banker, considering his course and distance record, which is 5 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So he's the horse that I think will be the right horse, and I think bookmakers have got it right, pricing him up at 7-2 in the betting as the top choice. But the race certainly doesn't stop there. Number 1 at 5-1, although yet to win on the turf. I mentioned that the horse has been fairly consistent. This horse, number 8, Now I Got You, well, we all know the story of the rating drop, etc. But his recent form is there, 56.5 kgs. Aldrak, Gavin Arena could, weave his magic from that wide draw. And then I found a horse here, Warren, at a big price, at a very big price.
We need it.
This horse is at 16-1, and I'm going to say he's not going to last come race time, called Gorgeous Dude.
Named after us.
Not after me, but you, definitely. But thanks for the compliment in any way. Number 5, Gorgeous Dude. A horse that has come right down. I've never gone for him in the past. But, considering at the height of his career, he was given a rating of 75, but he still remains a one-time winner. And he's now dropped to a 53, a low 53. Strong rider up in Muzieni, 53.5 kgs on his back. I've watched his recent starts. He hasn't been too far off them. This race, if things can work out for Muzi, just to get some confidence back with this individual, off a very low weight, I'll make him a runner that I'll give an each way play to. So that's going to be the value for me in the race. Gorgeous Dude at around 16-1. And I think the horse to beat is number 6, Superfast.
Okay, I think let's call it then the 8th race. I'm so thrilled to see, and I'm hoping that loyalty is going to get rewarded going back to number 6, Superfast, because Molisi Mbuto, 5th first time, Molisi Mbuto, 2nd beaten a neck, and Mr. Tony Riverton said, well, come on, let's keep this young kid on this horse and get him to get past the line first. But the statistics at the course are good. 7 starts for 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third. So very much all about Superfast. You've spoken about Gorgeous Dude as the exacta, as the trifecta, exacta, etc. Value. I've got a bit of a lurker too, but it's 62.5 kilograms. This horse, I don't know why. Griffin Park keeps talking to me. MJ Oudendal stable, we know we're going to start following. Serena's riding so well.
20-1.
Yeah, it's a huge price, and I just starting to come down in the ratings quite quickly. It was an 80 4 or 5 starts ago. It's now 71.
He was a quick horse when he started off. I remember him being like a tearaway.
Yeah, so by no means a good thing, but just these are the kind of races that you want to find these lurkers to pop up and run 2nd and 3rd for swingers. But I think let's just close it and say that Superfast, Gorgeous Dude, is the selection for you. Superfast, Griffin Park as an outsider for me, but it's never as easy as that, Dees.
Yeah, 2 nice outsiders there to possibly include in trifectas and quartets, numbers 5 and 7. And let's see if Mkolisi Mputo can get it right for trainer Tony Riverland on horse number 6, Superfast.
Welcome back for the debate and discussion of the last race, the 9th and final race, Friday night. It is the Hollywoodbets Bright Future, and what a bright future it certainly is. 1,200 meters is the distance, class 5 for fillies and mares, where the benchmark is 66, and as I said, 8:30, racing for a stake of 80,000 Rand. At the time of recording, no scratchings or jockey changes. You know what to do. We don't need to say it again. I like Dawn Surprise, horse number 7, Dawn Surprise. I have been following her. I've been waiting for her next win. I have maybe been waiting, well, I've been waiting 51 weeks to be exact. Fairly drawn. Cole Dickin knows her every move. The young rider, apprentice Bongane, rode an absolute cracker last time. Now gets the services of Gary's stable jockey, you could call it. Close-up 2nd last time. That was at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. The course statistics, 3 starts for a place. That's not really too much to get excited about or stressed about. I just like Dawn's Surprise. I'm not going to turn my back on her until she wins. And my, she showed me last time that it's going to be soon.
Well, she's trading at 5-1, Warren. I'll give you some betting. Number 2, Drive By at 9-2. We have number 4, Chuck Puri at 8-1, 5 Heirloom at 9-2, number 7 Dawn Surprise, Warren Selection at 5-1, 8 De Rosa at 7-1. The runner that keeps jumping off the page for me is 9 Spirited Flight. She is a 3-time winner. She has won over the course and distance, and I think if she gets some luck of the draw, considering that the Queen Bee has come out to announce a form line behind Pusteki, I think at around 8-1 she could also be some value. Number 9 Spirited Flight, and then 10 Phoenix Fox is at 6-1, and it's double figures the balance. So Warren has given you his thoughts on an each way selection. Number 7 Dawn Surprise, number 9 Spirited Flight will definitely get my vote for the pick 6 at around 8-1. Robin Claassen is in town. She's got 2 really nice horses here to possibly close things off for her stable. Number 5 Heirloom and 10 Phoenix Fox, and she's engaged the services of Andrew Fortune and Gavin Arena. I think that does tell the story. And Robin's Heirloom hasn't won for a long time, and whichever show I did with Alistair Cohen, she always seems to get a mention about a rating drop, etc., but she just can't put her head in front. And in Phoenix Fox with Gavin Arena on some of her better form lines, not those of late. If you go prior to that, where she had back-to-back wins, she will keep you encouraged as well. Number 10 Phoenix Fox. The other runners of our locals, I think Glamours, who Jermaine Maharaj from the Computer Form tips as his outright choice. That horse is trading in double figures. 1 Smart Cookie coming through to win from that form line behind Mrs. Ladiatrix, who I must add that Warren and Ferner did pick out when I worked with him at Hollywoodbets Scottsville at any price that day. That form line is held up with 1 Smart Cookie coming through to win. So it's a very tough race to close things off. If you're running in the exotics here, whatever your selections are, if you try to minimize your spend, it's going to be nervous moments to try and survive here. If I have to give you place accumulator numbers, I'm going to give you 4 of them in numerical order. 3 Glamours, 5 Heirloom, 7 Dawn Surprise, and 9 Spirited Flight. That's going to be my top 4, Warren. 3, 5, 7, and 9 in numerical order.
Dees, thank you for those numbers. Just to close up, 2 other horses that I'm going to include for swingers and exactors as well, which aren't part of your numbers, but that just shows the competitiveness of the field. 2 Drive By, I think, is worth a mention. Yes, possibly better on the poly track. In fact, is better on the poly track. But she's a mare that just loves running and can never be ignored. Throw her into your quartets. And then Yadev Singh's horse, Chuck Puri. Slow start last time, ran 4th behind Drive By. Another quartet type of horse. But I do like Dawn Surprise. D's is numbers 3, 5, 7, and 9. If you're going into the last leg, hold thumbs because it's that competitive.